Hey, it's all with another talky kind of video. A little while back, I talked about how throughout Dragonflight, the outdoor content has been more or less bombarded with the likes of rares, mobs that they feel okay to zerg down when it's the latest and greatest, but they feel way less okay when most folks have moved on and you're all by yourself, and these activities become too difficult or at least too slow to complete in a way that feels fun. I briefly mentioned the idea of having permanent companions or bodyguards to help with that situation, and the responses, as one would expect, are mixed because, well, of course it would be. Today, though, I'm gonna try to really sell you on it. I'm gonna offer out my vision of what a fleshed out companion system could possibly look like, and you're gonna love it, or you won't, and it's totally okay. I would appreciate it if you were to keep an open mind and listen to the whole thing before you do your takedown. So, like this video, subscribe for the commentary, excuse the mosquito bites, and let's start with an overview of what this companion system is and is not. Now, it is a way to complement the character's toolkit, like your toolkit, in the outdoor world. Mechanically, these companions, they can fill a tank or a DPS role. They'll add something like, I don't know, 20 to 25% to your average DPS with a modest amount of healing for itself and for you, the player. So it's meant to seal your capability as a player to take on just about any outdoor world content, with the exception of like the world boss. Regular elites, those shouldn't be a problem if you just take on one. A pack of them, you might need to be a little bit careful, but of course, if you pull the entire field, you're dead. Rare elites, as we almost infamously know now, like those ought to still have mechanics to dodge and avoid, that your companion can't save you from those, so we can try to maintain that and we can try to keep the challenge there. But this whole companion thing, it's not a progression system though. You're not gonna see Wowhead articles telling you where to farm for your best in slot companion for optimal DPS or gold generation or running or farming speed. You're not gonna grind their levels or go through some sort of process to up their item level or DPS. There's nothing even close to that, which makes this sound very uninteresting. I get it, but there's a reason. The intention is that you can choose your buddy, your companion, or whoever because it's them, because you like that character, because you think they're really hot, whatever. You're choosing it because of superficial reasons, not what they bring to the table. So you can swap out whenever you feel like it with whomever you feel like it without feeling punished. So the system is going to have a lot of companions to choose from, as you can kind of sort of tell, and there's nearly 20 years of World of Warcraft history to draw on. Companions can include those that we've quested for across the expansions. They could be like followers from our garrison and the Order Hall. They could be summoned visitors from the Shadowlands, but they could be built. They could be ourselves from the past or the future or something. Even though the gameplay of companions is meant to be really simple, the efforts are meant to be, well, it's meant to have a lot of heart. Like, let's say you're fighting alongside Gammon, right? And then while you're fighting, he's gonna brag about how it's thanks to me you survived that world quest. Or you can watch Dumas panic over flashing buttons appearing all around him and he's not sure what to do during combat. And as you do more with your companions, you can unlock, really small things like appearances for them and for you, and toys, and, maybe pets and mounts too. But what would be really cool is if you can get like these short quests every now and then to show how far that you've gone with that particular companion. Even if you just got like a letter in the mailbox from them thanking you for taking them on a fun adventure on like Antorus, sure. The companion system is meant to be evergreen, to be a supported feature until the game shuts down, with new allies or new bodyguard peoples being added like every few patches. You can find new allies to recruit probably by completing quest requirements, after which, some of these NPCs will offer to join you on outdoor adventures. The collection is on an account level, so any companion can be called on as soon as you get access to the system, which I'm just going to arbitrarily say like, okay, level 15, you can access it. And to call on a companion, you just visit any innkeeper NPC to pull up this companion UI, whatever it is, and you can call on whomever you want. You can look at your companions on your collection tab too, and probably in most cases you can track where and how to obtain them. Collecting possible companions from all over Azeroth would certainly, at least for me, be an itch for me to scratch. It would give me a bit more reason to roll a new character and fight alongside this favorite NPC in complete zones that I've never done before, so I can maybe collect more characters that were locked behind some sort of completion. On a given day, maybe I'll finally finish doing stuff alongside my Niffin buddy person so I can get that new hat color. But now I want to bring like the first quest giver from Sunstrider Isle, the Blood Elf starting area, so I can see their reactions when I take them to like Pandaria or to the Shadowlands. A system like this, where gameplay is super minimal, I mean, all it is really is, hey, the NPC is keeping me alive or holding aggro. It hinges on the amount of passion and heart that the developers put into the characters and the reactions, and of course the rewards. In a world of unlimited budgets and time, I would love to see like regular banter coming from the companion while we're mounted, or when we're turning in a quest, or we're just idling doing nothing, or if we're fighting, being at low health, if I happen to get critically hit, if I dodge stuff, and like any other scenario where they have an opportunity to speak or do a one-liner or more, and I would love all that in full audio. But then multiply that by potentially dozens of possible companions and the scope goes up really, really fast. I just feel strongly that having an opportunity to have a companion of our choice tag along with us subconsciously, it hits us in a certain way, I think. It builds a bit of an attachment, and with companions that are functionally the same, of course we have the freedom to choose based on our personal preferences. I mentioned this earlier, but just imagining some of these companions simply thanking you for taking them along and then like complimenting you on the amazing things that you've done and have accomplished over the years, it's got me feeling just a little bit emotional. Imagine too, like you're in your capital city or whatever town and randomly you see one of your longtime companions just kind of chilling somewhere over there. They're sitting there having a drink, they're shopping at a vendor, whatever. Maybe they're not with you. Maybe you haven't recruited them to be part of your team, but they're just there. They're part of the ambiance that helps that inn, that town, that city or whatever feel more alive. Like it would be really cool if they also just walked up to you. They were just passing by. They're like, hey, what's up, man? You know, I'm just passing by, but if you need me, call me anytime. I'm just nerding out here. I just think that would be really, really cool. Which brings me to addressing some of the misgivings about a big companion system. I mean, the biggest one would be like, oh, it's antisocial. And I get that. Like, why ask for help with that elite when I have the avatar of Pelagos with me to like master of death its ass? Like, what about the good old days when players just, asked each other for help in general chat? My counterpoint to that argument is that those days really are behind us. We've seen the return of elite camps during Shadowlands and Dragonflight, and it hasn't been, universally praised. Meanwhile, across our classes and specs, we have the toolkit to mostly survive, and we just need a nudge to overcome, well, pretty much any outdoor challenge. Meanwhile, we have queued content and a group finder. Players asked for a cross-realm grouping with the push of a button. They've built add-ons to replace direct communication, and the fans, they are the ones who created social systems like Raider.io and GearScore to replace asking someone, hey, you know the fights, right? In many ways, WoW is already very much a single-player MMORPG where the player doesn't feel so dependent on a party member to go out for an adventure. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm not looking for NPCs to replace players in dungeon or raid content. I'm just looking for a solution to making outdoor content feel a bit more easy to solo, especially when the crowds have moved on. It's precisely the problem that many players are complaining about right now. I think I can safely argue that if outdoor rares could be soloed by any class or role with reasonable gear, and if they have the skills to dodge circles and get out of shockwaves, then that's a win. That's gameplay, that's video games. And that's what companions would help players do, whether it's day one of the new patch or if your alt is leveling through years later. The WoW team can and should work on their outdoor content with respect to the solo player and the latecomer. This idea is just one way to do it while making it potentially fun, fulfilling, and possibly future-proofed. On a lesser note, there's the kind of the technical side of things, like pathing for companions, aggroing NPCs, and so on and so forth. We've seen that. I feel like since Warlords of Draenor, with those bodyguards, to the Legion companions, to the bodyguards from Nazachar and Najatar, whatever, and Pokepoke from Zereth Mortis, and the Bakar Pet and Dragonflight, we've had a lot of stuff, and things have gotten better. Companion NPCs are meant to have, effective abilities without too much flash. And of course, when the going gets tough, we should be able to just hit a button to temporarily tuck them away somewhere. Or of course, just don't use the companion system if it doesn't interest you. The way I see it, companions are going to be like a significant but not required part of your damage and survivability, except in the cases that I've been talking about. So if someone doesn't care about making buddies with NPCs, it should not be a problem for anyone. Having companions at your side might not be the best solution for the immediate problem of completing world content solo or when it's abandoned. Like, there's a lot to talk about in that conversation, but I believe that it can be a solution, a permanent one with a lot of potential as a vehicle for throwbacks, nostalgia, and a little bit more flavor to the World of Warcraft as we ride off from one journey to the next. So if you don't mind sharing your own ideas, like the video, subscribe, drop by the stream for a chat, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.